Wynn is wondering in an email he sent me about home inspectors and one that he hired. He said the inspector spent only 2 hours in the house, and he's wondering, is that enough time to really review a home? So Brett, he listens to our show. Got a lot of people listening to us. We appreciate that. He's asking, so how long should a home inspection take normally?
As long as it takes.
Okay.
And the way that the reason I'm going to say that is we have a standard of practice that must be followed. So we have a scope of inspection that we follow. Every house is different. Every inspection company is different. I mean, I send a team to every inspection. So I base all of my inspections on a 2-hour inspection window. So if I need, if it's a 13,000 square foot house, I'm going to have 8 inspectors that show up in order to finish it in 2 hours. An inspector doing it solo, can they complete an inspection in 2 hours? Yeah, if it's on a slab or if it's a simple basement, 1,600 square foot house, yeah, they can probably do it in 2 hours. We've seen inspectors that go in and just do a videotape walkthrough of the house, really, taking the approach of we're just going to film it all, we're going to leave, and then we're going to write it up later. They may only spend less than an hour in your house. So I think as long as the standards of practice are met, the scope of the inspection is known, the client knows what they're getting, then yeah, the amount of time that it takes is going to be a little bit different. I will say most times I'm hearing a solo inspector is going to take somewhere between 3 and 4 hours to do most of their inspections. Once you get over about 3,000 square feet of space, so it's probably going to take them longer than that. And the sellers need to understand that too, because they're going to have to be out of their house for the period of time that the inspector is going to take. But sometimes we run into things that take a little bit longer, even in a team base. I may run into a situation that requires more scrutiny and a little extra time beyond that normal 2-hour mark.
And I think that's a good point to make, and that is, you really get what you pay for sometimes, folks, and you don't want to skimp on a home inspection. You want to look at the reports that the inspector produces in advance before you hire them, and probably word of mouth is also really good. People who have experience, like if you call Wynn, who wrote that question and says, 2 hours, home inspector, not so good, it doesn't sound like you would not want to go with the inspector that Wynn used. If incidentally, you want to hear this show or see it in person, again, because these are questions that you want to have repeated or send to somebody who may be contemplating like a home inspection, go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com.